All right. Hello. Good afternoon. Hope we're all doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Just rectifying my microphone situation. It looks like the wire might have come loose since my last stream, so the volume's a bit skewy with. But I think we're good. I hope we're doing well. McLaren, thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. David, welcome to the chat. Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Zach, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well indeed. We're just going to get started in just 1 second here. I'm just finalizing a couple of things. And we're going to be getting rolling here. Okie dokie. All right, great stuff, great stuff. So many applications to open. Alright then guys, welcome. Hope we're doing well. My camera's a bit low, isn't it? Probably going to be too high now. I know it's not too bad. Anyway, welcome guys. Welcome. I hope we're doing well. That's not even straight, is it? Fuck me. Trials and tribulations. Right. Welcome everybody. Hope we're doing well. Hope we're doing well indeed. So today we're going to be doing a bit of DC-6 action. It's been a little while since we've flown this on stream. In fact, I think this is the first time I've flown the DC-6 since Sim Update 5. So it's probably been well over a month now since we've done this on stream. So it should be pretty interesting. We're going to be flying with the Flying Bulls in their beautiful livery. We're going to be flying from their base in Salzburg, and we're going to be flying down to Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina. This was it's based on a flight that they did recently. You know, I do actually follow the one of the pilots from the Flying Bulls on Instagram, and he posts up, you know, their travels and such. So yeah, this was the flight that they recently undertook down to Mostar. They flew down there and then set off from that airport and did a flyover of the bridge in the city as they were doing a Red Bull diving event off the bridge. All right. Excuse me. Don't mind me. I'm just choking on my coffee over here. Oh. Right. Yeah. So they did a Red Bull diving event over in Mostar, and yeah. So we're basically going to be sort of emulating that flight to a certain degree today. So let's get underway. We are on multiplayer today, so if you want to join along, we're on West Europe server, and we're parked here. It's on the stand. We're stand Echo 2 or East Apron 2 at Salzburg LOWS. So if you want to fly along, you're more than welcome. But we're just going to do a bit of flight planning. Excuse me. We're just going to do a bit of flight planning to begin with here, and we'll get the stairs and whatnot set up. On the exterior, look how stunning this airport is. Such a beautiful location. Look at those front cabin stairs out as well. God, excuse me. Mohammed, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, how are you doing? Right, okay. I think I can talk properly again now. All right, so before we go any further then, let's do a bit of flight planning, shall we? So I haven't actually done anything really in terms of flight planning here, but it shouldn't be too difficult to work out, because as we fly towards the well, what I should say first of all is that we're not going to be using the GPS in the DC-6 as normal. Well, yeah, as normal. We don't really use the GPS in the DC-6, do we? So yeah, what we're going to be doing is we're flying from Salzburg. And as we head out over eastern Austria, they don't actually have any airways, any RNAV airways over eastern Austria, and they start to get a bit more sparse as you come out over to the east of Europe. So it's pretty cool, really, because we can actually quite easily use VORs and things like that to navigate across the continent. So that's really cool. So let's bring up the flight planning situation, and we'll have a look here. So we've got a little nav map here. We'll come back to that in a second. What we'll do first of all is we'll just use SimBrief to get an idea on weights and we'll get an idea of weights and sort of good cruising altitude and things like that. Is this the right code I've used here? Mostar LQMO, yep, that's the one. LQMO, okay, so that's that. I'll zoom this a bit so you guys can read it a bit better. So we've got arrival and departure and arrival on runway 33, so that's to the north. We've got a very, very interesting approach here to brief at Mostar, an LGS approach, which is basically, it's basically an ILS but not on site. And then we've got a turn on final to make there, which should be quite interesting in the DC-6. But like I say, we will come back to that. So looking at SimBrief, it's given us a routing here, which is actually, I mean, looking at it, it's basically a lot of these are VORs. You can see these 3-letter designators being VORs. So that's quite nice for us. Gemka, we'll have a look at that one and see if we can actually identify that using a VOR, but considering this goes to an airway and then crew, we might be able to. Let's see. Alright, so let's take this route anyway that SimBrief has given us, and we'll pop it into little nav map. In fact, I'm going to actually just generate the flight plan as well, just to get the cruising altitude as well. So we'll go into little nav map and we shall just paste the route in, and we'll put in our airports at the start and end. And we'll read that. There we go. Okay, so it's got that in there. Beautiful stuff. All right, so if we have a look at Salzburg, ILB VOR is out here. And then we've got an airway and then a crew. Okay, so that's an NDB, but should be actually okay, that one. Oh, they're all NDBs. Oh, no, that's no good. I mean, it's fine, but tracking NDBs is immeasurably more painful than tracking a VOR. Let's see. Do we have any VORs we can actually just track instead? Let's see. There's a VOR here. There's two even. Got a pretty short range though. There is a VOR here at this airfield. Which has got a large range on it. I think we might just use that one instead, to be honest. That might be a bit better actually. To be quite honest, I think that's going to be better just overall. I mean, we're not using airways then, but I mean, tracking NDBs is just painful. So I think we go with this one instead. So if we add this to our flight plan, and then we get rid of Sal, Mintu, Los, Cray, and Gemka, and there we go, beautiful. So we've got VOR to VOR, great stuff, and even we've got Mostar VOR at the end there as well. Okay, cool. So there we go. We've got our route. We'll get rid of this ring. In fact, I'll just get rid of all the rings because we don't really need them. Let's see. What was the keybind? It's this one. There we go. Okay, cool. Damiano, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Mike, welcome to the chat. Now then, hope you're doing well, mate. Samuel, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, good morning. Wish my PC could run this properly, says Mohammed on Twitch. I'm planning on you upgrading to a 3080, currently using a 1050 Ti. Yeah, that'll be a nice upgrade for you as well, definitely, yeah. Make sure you have a strong processor though. I think this game is definitely more reliant on having a good processor to feed your graphics card than the actual graphics card itself. So yeah, definitely consider that as well. Chris, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. All right, so we've got our routing here from SimBrief. Well, we've not got our routing, but we've got our cruising flight level, which I'm just going to take here. So putting that into SimBrief as well. Let's just have a preview of the airspace. Okay, so we are going to be flying through a fair bit of airspace here. Let's see. All right, so these are general control areas, these purple ones. We've got various TMAs active at times announced by NOTAM. We've got some Class D as well. Okay, we're good anyway. I mean, we're flying IFR, so we can assume we've got clearance for the whole route. So let's just ignore that. We don't really need to mess with that. we are flying IFR after all. Okay, so let's just finish this route off by choosing a departure from Salzburg. So we shall go on right click on Salzburg. We'll click on why is it not showing me the, there we go. That is departure. It's so departure procedures. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be taking off runway 33, so up to the north, and we have got we've already got ILB in as our first waypoint or VOR. Let's just see what we've got here. I don't think any of those are actually going to help us, to be quite honest. I don't think any of... I mean, that Verda one is probably... Let's go into Navigraph. It's a bit easier on Navigraph to visualize the procedures. So we'll go to SIDS and show overview here. Go on low on route, runway 33. Yeah, I think the Verda one is probably going to be the best, Verda 1 Alpha. Let's see if we can actually fly that. Okay, so it's an RNAV departure, so we can't fly that. They've got no instructions for a non-RNAV equipped aircraft, so we're going to just completely ignore that one.
Happy Monday, bro, Blue Heart.
Hey, Mariner, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you very much for the 500 stars. Much appreciated. Very, very kind of you, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so these are departures coming out to the south, so we're going to ignore those. And to be honest, it's looking like we're probably just going to depart straight out. These departure procedures are not going to work for us. I remember when we departed from Salzburg last time, there is some departure procedures that don't require RNAV, but it looks like, unless they've changed them, it doesn't look like... Hang on, let's see. Yeah, so there was... Which one did we do? Was it this one? Why is it not showing me the chart there? Hello? What in the world has just happened? That was a bug. Let's just bring that back up. Okay, so yeah, I can't remember which one we did last time. I think it was... Huh. I recognize the Salzburg one. We didn't do that one though, did we? I'm pretty sure it was that one, wasn't it, that we did? But yeah, they're going out to the north anyway, so we're going to ignore those. We're not going to do a departure procedure. We're just going to depart straight out. We'll just take a... let's see, actually, let's see what the terrain's looking like. We do have quite a lot of terrain around Salzburg, so we've got to be aware. How can we get this departure procedure to disappear? I don't want it to appear there anymore. There we go. Okay, so we are going to head... Let's just see what the range is on this VOR. Okay. All right, so yeah, what we're going to do is we'll add this Salzburg VOR to our flight plan. So we'll add that in. So what we'll do is we'll fly out direct to the Salzburg VOR, and let's just move that up. So we'll fly out direct to the Salzburg VOR, which is going to be quite... it's going to make this flight plan look a bit funky, but nevertheless, we're going to fly out direct to the Salzburg VOR, then we're going to do a 180 turnaround and come back. That's going to allow us to climb a little bit, and then we shall join back on this outbound radial from the Salzburg VOR, heading down to this first VOR down here as well. So that should just... There's a little gap of no coverage here by this VOR, so I think that's going to work out best. So we'll do that. Let me just stick this down here. Might be a bit easier to read. No, it's actually even more difficult to read. Oh no, that'll do. Okay, cool. Great stuff. So that is our flight plan then. So we're going to go SBG, ILB, ZDA, SPL, MSR. And that's going to take us down to Mostar. Alright, so let's copy that to the clipboard. We're going to go back to SimBrief. We're going to edit that flight, and I'm just going to paste it in here. We'll get rid of this and this. So all direct really. As you can see, analysing the route, it puts it in there. That's looking good. Alright, runway 33, passengers auto, cargo none. We'll just put this, we'll put everything on auto and see what it gives us. I've got the weight in pounds, don't want to screw myself over there. Mariner, where we're flying? We're flying from, excuse me, Salzburg to Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That is the route there. It's about, I think, about an hour in the air. Oh, an hour and 47 in the air apparently. So yeah, a decent length. And the route is, I'll stick it in the chat actually. That's the route. In fact, you can ignore that first sort of waypoint there where it's put in the latitude and longitude there, but that is the route. Alright, so this is giving us flight level 130, which is the same as what we had before. We've got our routing in and our payload. Great stuff. Great stuff. Right, we're ready to go then. Let's get things rocking then, shall we? All right, so let's jump inside here and oh, why is those radios? I don't want those. All right, so we'll jump on here first of all and just make sure we've got the right options selected. We want everything on realistic here, and we want the PMDG Bendix radios. And that is what we want. We want to have, we've got all our little outside items all in place. The mechanics are just taking care of the aircraft just while we faff about here with our payload and whatnot. So that's all good. We'll set our fuel. So fuel is going to be 9,402 pounds for this flight. So we'll come down 9402. That should do. That's close enough. And then our number of passengers is going to be 66 today. Not a full house, but pretty much there. And then we have got we've got no cargo, in fact. So our zero fuel weight should work out as, in fact, it doesn't give you a zero fuel weight on this one, does it? So we'll have a look at our gross weight. Gross weight should be 82670. So we're actually a little bit heavier than than what our flight plan says, which is a bit strange. But let's just chuck a couple of passengers out. See what happens. 8267. No, we're not far off, are we? How heavy are these passengers? Holy. Right, we'll just do it there. 65. All right, cool. So we'll stick that down, and that's all good to go. Great stuff. What stand am I at? I am at stand Echo 3. Beautiful, beautiful airport scenery. This by Digital Design, and yeah, very very nice indeed. Look at that over there. You've got the this is where the DC-6 would normally be parked overnight. In this, it's like a museum, I believe. Actually, you can go in and have a look around if you want. But Red Bull have got a ton of their planes in there. Very very cool. Excuse me. I'm a multiplayer or VATSIM. I'm a multiplayer. Not on VATSIM. I didn't want to bother today, and to be fair, I don't highly doubt there's anyone on in this area. Nope. Nobody. Okay. So let's get things started up then. So we'll do our initial checks here. Just bring up my my checklist to make sure I've got everything all good to go. So checking the circuit breakers here. All are looking good. We'll jump around the back as well. We'll check these are all in the left position, and then everything up here is up, except for these four, which are always down. So that's all looking fine. Remember, this aircraft does have realistic circuit breaker failure, so we do need to check these. Great stuff. So we can start getting things turned on. We do have some ground power, so we can check that by pressing that light there. Ground power we have, so we'll switch this over to ground power, and we'll flick the plane onto ground power and turn the generators on. So we do have power now. You can kind of hear the power coming to life on the aircraft in a very subtle way. We've got the fuel on board, so we're going to stick the seatbelt signs and the no smoking lights. We'll get the position lights on as well in the steady position, although these weren't working for me last night. Let's see if they're working now. No, it doesn't seem like they are working. Very strange. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so carrying on, everything else is looking good up here. We can turn the inverters on as well. Emergency lights are armed, that's good. We can check that with that light. Wheel well lights we don't need. Yeah, all looking good there. So jumping over here, check the temperature outside real quick. 20 degrees, pretty toasty here today, so we don't need to worry too much about anti-ice. But vinyl warming is going to stay in this position. That's good. Everything else is looking good here. We'll do a quick fire test in a minute. We'll get the cabin heater master on as normal, and everything else can stay off. Coming to the middle, checking all the fluid levels and quantities. Everything looks good there. We've got fuel in our mains. That's looking good. Pitot he can stay off for now. That's good. So coming to the pressurization and temperature, we'll turn the temperature up a little bit so it's not too chilly in there once we get into cruise. Cooling turbine is off. That's fine. Everything else looks good. Let's come down here, and then we're going to set the pressurization for the flight. So we're going to be cruising at flight level 130. So we'll set that to 10, 11, 12, 13. So there we go. We've got our cabin altitude, and then our starting altitude here at Salzburg is going to be 1,400 feet. So we'll twist this up to about there. That's looking good. All right, great stuff. Cool, cool, cool. Let's just quickly get the ATIS and get the QNH stuck in. Actually, 30.24. .24 is going to be 1024. So let's get that set. That's 1020. 1024 should be about there. That's looking good. Alrighty then. I'm not sure actually how this is working with the radios off, but never mind. Let's just untune that frequency. Test the radios work actually while we're here. They all work fine. Let's open the cowl flaps as well whilst we're here. Oh. There we go. I'm going to extend the landing lights as well, just to save me on a step later on. And I think we are all good up above. And I'll also just turn the motors off as well now that they're extended. See, landing lights are just hanging down just here now. Great stuff. Support Salzburg and downloading. Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Alright, cool. So that's everything done up there. Engine instruments and everything down here is looking fine. These switches are all on. That's fine. We'll get the fuel selector switches to main. Crossfeeds are going to be off. Prop is full forwards. Great stuff. Transponder's off. We'll give it a quick test. That looks like it's working fine, as is that. I'll keep the radios off for engine start. Everything down here. Gyropilot is all off. Mixtures are all down. Carb heat is cold. Hydraulic bypass switch is in bypass. That's looking good. Flaps are up. And then hydraulic pressure. I'm still not exactly sure how you check that when the engines are off, but nevertheless, we're going to assume that's all okay because I mean, we can do this, I suppose, can't we? We'll just have to remember not to leave it on like we did a while ago. So you can see the pressure building. Should stop just short of somewhere in this arc, I think. That's the correct range. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Righty then. So let's come back down. Let's close that switch. And we're pretty much good to go for an engine to start here, I think. So let's put the engine mode selector to 3. Just going to leave it there for now. In fact, no, I won't do that. We'll do our fire test. Forgot about that one. So let's get the camera down yonder. So we're going to be looking at these. We're going to be looking at these fire switches here. Okay, so first one. Let's do zone 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking good. Zone 2 and 3. Looking good. I've got the forward baggage. Great stuff. Hydraulic actuator compartment. That's looking good. Heat compartment. Great stuff. Aft baggage. All good. Left wing heater. That's here. Right wing heater. Okay, cabin heater and the tail heater. All right. Cool. So that's all good. Everything is ready to rock. Engine mode selector, we can put that in 3, and we'll just pop outside real quick and just enjoy this view for just a moment here. Very, very nice. What I might do as well is let's just pop a window over here. So let's pop this open like so, and we'll just have a quick peek outside there. We've got the door in our way at the moment, but we'll get that closed in just a moment. In fact, we can do that right about now. So let's close these. Well, let me click them for some reason while the stairs are moving. Very strange. Anyway, we can get rid of the mechanic stands, the oil pans, pitot covers, and chocks whilst we wait. We've got the parking brake in place. The slowest stairs in the world. They would definitely go down a bit quicker than that, I imagine. But anyway. Is it going to let me close this? There we go. Okay. Great stuff. So that's all the doors closed. Everything's looking good there. Let's just make sure all the lights are out. They are indeed. Okay. Great stuff. So we'll do the before start checklist. So circuit breakers are checked and set. Battery and ground power is on. Generators are on. Signs are on. Lights are set. Cabin heater master is on. Windshield heat is set. Hydraulics are down and forward. In fact, we didn't actually check that, but it is in the forward position. That's fine. Fuel tank selectors are in main. Cowl flaps are open. Fuel and fluids are checked. Pressurization and air conditioning is set. Manifold and duct pressure is checked. Radios are checked and off. Doors and hatches are closed. Door warning lights are out. Seat belts and pedals are adjusted. Let me just make sure my actual pedals are adjusted properly. They're looking good. Throttles are set to idle. We can actually move those up a little bit. That's a bit better of an idle. And then props are forward and 3. Great stuff. So before start checklist is complete. Forward and 3, so it's on the number 3 prop as the master governor. Okay, great stuff. So we are ready for an engine start. Let's get going. So we've got a nice view of the props out the window here. We're going to start with engine 3, so we'll get the boost pump on for engine 3. We'll just check that we have some pressure in the fuel system, which we do. Let's get it spinning. So I'll turn down the music. Let's get that spinning.
3, 6, 9.
And we'll get the magnetos on, boost and start. Hello? I definitely forgot some. Did I forget something there? Interesting. I didn't forget anything there. Alright. We'll come back to that one. We do have realistic engine start on, so it might just be playing funny with us. So we'll go for engine mode selector number 4. We'll get the booster pump on for engine 4. We've got fuel pressure in the 4th engine. Let's go for a start on that one.
3.
Spinning nice, no hydraulic lock.
6,
9, we'll get the magnetos on, boost, prime, and it should catch. There we go. We'll get the mixture up to auto rich once it catches, and that is looking good. Great stuff. So we actually have a good engine start on that one. Beautiful. Look at this nice little detail on the props here. Very nice indeed. Alrighty. Let's see how we're looking on the RPMs. Let's just nudge the levers forward a bit here. See if we can go to just get it sitting at about 1,000 RPM. Takes a little bit of twiddling. Oh my god, I can't get it bang on here. What the hell? There we go. Okay, that'll do. So 1,000 RPM there we've got set, and that's looking good. Let's go for engine number 2 now. So fuel booster pump on for that one. Engine mode selector in number 2. We've got fuel pressure there. Let's get it rocking.
3.
To do with
6.
opening this window, really.
9.
9. Want to get the magnetos
12.
on. Oh god. And boost, prime, and it should catch. No, we were a bit slow there, obviously. Obviously, opening the windows is going to screw us, as always. But hey ho, let's go back up yonder. We'll get those magnetos off, boost pump off, and we'll go to engine 1. Fuel pressure is good on engine 1. Alright, so let's go for start on engine 1.
3. 6.
David, welcome
5.
to the chat.
12.
Is it going to catch? Oh, come on. Seriously. Bruh. It's not even cold outside. Come on now. It's 20 degrees. Serious? Wow. Okay. Let's go then back to engine number 3. Obviously we've got the engines are being a bit touchy today. It's funny, I flew last night in this aircraft and they literally all started first time. Okay, so let's go engine 3 starts.
3.
That's the wrong side. We'll poke our head out the window here.
9.
There we go, 9.
12.
Oh my god. Dude. Wow, okay. Back to number 2 it is. So, fuel looking good. Okay, let's start that one.
3. 6. 9. 12.
There we go. That one caught. Beautiful. Okay, okay, okay. We're getting there. Let's bring the throttles back a little bit. This fourth engine is just going a bit over. There we go, and we'll just bring the 2 lever a little bit forwards. There we go. We'll have them hovering around 1,000 just to get them warming up. Okay. Alright, we'll get the booster pumps on for number 1. Start that one.
3.
Beautiful
6.
stuff.
9. 12.
Oh, it's catching. Get the mixture in. Oh my god, I pressed the wrong key then. There we go, beautiful. Okay, so we've got 3 good engine starts. Let's just see what the RPM's doing on number 1. We're just going to bring the number 2 lever back a bit. And we'll bring the number 1 forwards. That should do it. Okay, let's go for engine 3, which is now, this is the 3rd attempt to start engine 3. So booster pump is on. We've got fuel pressure. That's looking good. Let's go for it. Start.
3, 6, 9, 12.
There we go. It's catching this time. Fantastic. Okay, let's get those mixture locks in so that we don't accidentally knock those engines off at all. Beautiful stuff. Okay. Woo. Looks like we've got good 4 good engine starts there, guys. Finally. We got there in the end. We got there in the end. Great stuff. Okay then, so let's get the generators turned over to plain battery. Fuel booster pumps are off. Engine selector is off. Again, emergency lights are still in the armed position, and ground power, we can actually get that removed from the aircraft. So we'll go ramp manager, ground power, we'll get that removed. So after start checklist, fuel booster pumps are off, battery is plain battery, generators, inverters checked and on, emergency lights are armed and ground power is removed. Okay, great stuff. So that's that done. What we can do now as well is we'll get our radios on. We'll come down here as well and turn on our DME. Okay. Let's get our transponder on as well, or on standby rather. We'll set our squawk to 7,000. That's looking good. Okay. Let's get some stuff tuned then. So we are initially going to want to tune on to the Salzburg VOR, which is 113.8. So we'll get that tuned in, and then we're going to go to, well, we don't really need to tune anything else because we've got quite a bit of time until the first one, but we'll tune 1148 in our standby, and then I'm actually going to put this into the active on this side. I'm going to put it into the active on this side just so we have, we can see when we're going to pick that up. We're not using any ADF at the moment, so that's no issue. So we'll leave that as it is, and we're going to set our inbound course to the Salzburg VOR, which we have identified there. That's looking good. We're going to set our inbound course to 336. That is going to be about there. Alright. Took you 3 attempts to get one started last night. Holy crap, Mariner. Yeah, I feel your pain there. Feel your pain big time. Cruising flight level is 130, yep. Fair enough, David. No worries at all. Enjoy your sleep, dude, and I'll catch you again soon. I mean, if you fancy tuning back in, we should still be in the air once you're awake. Have a nice snooze though, dude. Chris, DC-6 looks awesome. Pressing the Red Bull livery, maybe a bit complex for me though. It's really not too complicated once you've done it a few times. It's really not too bad at all. It's actually quite simple, to be honest, once you get used to it. Just like it's just like a temperamental GA plane, let's say. Well, it's really not too bad. Like, it's got a lot of dials and stuff, but honestly, it's not too complicated. It's really not that bad. Let's just adjust the RPM. So we're all sitting at 1,000. Let's just check the cylinder head temperatures. They're all looking good. We're going to leave the cowl flaps open for now. And that's looking good. Alright, so our first inbound course, like I said, was 336. And then our next course is going to be a 157 inbound. Although having said that, we're going to be taking an outbound course from the Salzburg VOR of 157. So, yeah, it's just going to be a case of adjusting the OBS once we overfly the Salzburg VOR. So that's fine, no issues there. We're pretty much good to go then. So let's just double check any takeoff items. Sorry, any before takeoff items. Tell you what we haven't done that we could do with having a look at is our power settings. Whilst the engines are warming up, let's make sure we've got our power settings noted here. So we are going to be going for a Alright, so I'll bring up the tablet so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. So we're going to be going for we need takeoff power. So it's going to be a dry takeoff, and we're going to round that up to 2,000 feet. So if I say we're going to do this power setting right here. I'm going to write this down. Hey, we've got a little Piper arrow. Well, it's actually a H135 apparently. It's showing up as a Piper arrow, and Mariner is showing up as a DC-6. Brilliant. Oh, we've got an A320 here as well. Brilliant. Awesome. I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're just going to close these windows so it's a bit quieter in here as well. There we go. Okay, so power setting wise, like I say, we're going to be using this one here. Now, we probably could calculate for our temperature above standard, but I'm not going to do that because I'm lazy, and yeah, it's going to work fine for us this way. It's not too much of an issue, I don't think. Temperatures are not wildly different today. Anyway, so carb temperature is about 10 degrees, and the so the power setting is going to be 52.5 on the manifold. As you can see, the differences between these power settings is they're all basically the same, so it's not going to make too much of a difference if we adjust for standard pressure here. So 52.5, and we're going to be at 2,800 RPM. And that's it. Great stuff. And to be honest, one thing I've never actually noticed before that is all of these power settings are actually the same here, except for this one. So yeah, for takeoff you can pretty much always use the same one. Well, depending on the temperature, of course, but that's that one. So we'll get our Mito power now. Again, we're going to work that out at 2,000 here. So we're going to go for this one. So it's going to be again 48 and 2,600 on the RPMs. That's looking good. And then we're going to get our climb power, which again we're going to start from. We'll start from about here. This is going to be our climb power. 40.5 and 2,400 RPM. Great stuff. Okay, cool. And then our cruise power will go for 1100 cruise. We're going to be cruising at flight level 130. That's going to give us a power of this, which is going to give us this. Okay, cool. So cruise power, I mean, it does depend on the carb temperature when we're at cruise. In fact, what we can do is we can go back to our sim brief and we can actually check our top of climb temperature. It's going to be -3 degrees, so usually the carb temperature is about 10 degrees different from the outside air temperature. So we can assume then that the carb temperature is going to be approximately -10 degrees. So that's going to give us a power setting of 32.5 at 2000 RPM. Okay, great stuff. Okie dokie. And Chris, I'll mention as well, by the way, I didn't actually say this earlier, but a lot of this stuff that I'm doing is completely unnecessary. You really don't need to do all this stuff. The aircraft itself, it actually has what's called the automated or artificial flight engineer. And you can actually click these buttons and it will basically do basically most of the stuff that I've just done for you. It's pretty cool because the guy actually reads out the checklist and whatnot. It's actually quite cool, but you know, I like to make things difficult, so that's why I'm doing it like this. Okay, let's get things rocking then. So okie dokie. Oh, everybody's disappeared. Oh, everybody's disappeared. What's happened there? I'm still online. It must be a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing. That's a bit strange. Oh, there we go. They're back. Fantastic. All right. Anyways, let's start our taxi out. We're going to taxi to runway 33. So we'll brief the taxi just very quickly here. And then we'll brief the approach once we get in the air. We actually have a very, very interesting approach into Mostar. In fact, I'll show you it now because I'm pretty excited about it, I'm not going to lie. Come on, Navigraph. Do your job. Yeah, so the approach into Mostar is very, very cool. So it's an IGS approach or a localizer approach. You can do either. As you can see, localizer course offset of 21 degrees. You can see here the runway is this is the runway here, and you can see the inbound course is out here. So it's very much offset because of obviously the terrain on this side. So should be pretty cool. It's got a 3.4 descent angle, so nothing too crazy, but definitely steeper than your average. So it should be quite fun, really. We're just going to fly straight in. We're not going to do this hold, but we'll just fly straight in and down. Whoa, Bessie! What in the world? This A320 was just flying about all over the shop. Oh, it's back. I don't know where Mariner's gone either. It seems to have disappeared. I'm looking forward to the Reno Air Race expansion, so hopefully it fixes the weird multiplayer issues. What in the world? Anyways, let's get back to here. So yeah, that's the approach. We'll do it in a bit more detail once we get underway. But as you can see, it's pretty exciting stuff. Okay, so we'll go for 10-9. So we're here at Salzburg. We're gonna taxi pushback facing south. We'll go to Lima, and then Foxtrot, and then on to runway 33 off to the north. That's all we really need to know. Initial course of 333. So that's that, and yeah, we don't really have a departure procedure to follow. So let's get underway. I've got this new pushback toolbar thing, but I think I messed up the installation when it comes to this interactive pushback audio, unfortunately. But never mind. What I also wanted to do was, there was a bug previously where if you had an interface scale that was a bit lower, which I did, it wouldn't work properly. It seems to be solved now, so that's good. Alright, let's go. Let's just check our engine temperatures, cylinder head temperatures. They're looking good, bit cool if anything. So let's get a tug in place. Okay, looks like we're going to have the invisible tug pushing us back today. Let's see if this actually works here. No, it doesn't. Okay, fair enough. Alright, let's release the parking brake then. And let's go. Let's go. This throttle must have knocked that. There we go, so we're just going to push all the way back here. All the way back. Got my new joystick as well today. It's this thing right here. You can't really see it that well though, can you? Doesn't really stand out like my old one did. Tell you what I didn't do though is I forgot the beacon lights. Doesn't seem to be working again though. Alright, let's stop it there. We'll put the parking brake on, end pushback, and we are pretty much ready to taxi out. Okay. Ooh, right. Let's taxi out. What's a joystick? It is a VKB Gladiator NXT. It's very, very nice. It's very, very nice. Let me just sort out my controls here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's super nice. It's super nice. Like my old joystick, it had, well, the twist axis was basically failing. And it's got like a potentiometer in there, like a, well, I'm sure you guys know what a potentiometer is. This one, it has actually a contactless sensor for the Z-axis, so it basically can't fail, which is amazing. It also has tons of hat switches on, so I've got like tons of different views that I can go for now. Like this is all using the hat switches, all of these views here, even resets, and then I can move the camera down here, and move it back here. We can actually go through all the instrument views. This is without me touching the keyboard at all. We can even use one of the hat switches is just basically an analog stick, so you can have a look around like this, which I absolutely love. We can look left, we can look right, we can look back like that. It's great, it's brilliant. So good for doing visual approaches. And then you've even got 2 little rotary dials, which is quite nice for GA aircraft. I am, however, still getting a little bit used to some of the controls, so I probably will muck it up today. But the main thing that I prefer about this joystick is just its feel. I'll show you guys real quick before we take off. I'll show you guys before we take off, but we'll just taxi on down to the holding point first. Better than the Airbus joystick? Oh yeah, 1000%, yeah. In every conceivable way, it's better. I mean, obviously it doesn't look like an Airbus joystick, you know, an Airbus side stick. So I suppose, you know, if you wanted to have that true immersion for the Airbus, I suppose you could give that a negative. But I think in every functional area, it is better. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would recommend it. I mean, it is like triple the price also of the Airbus joystick, so there is that as well. Holding out for the honeycomb at Tango Foxtrot, if it ever turns up. Yeah, I decided just to not bother with that in the end, personally. But yeah, I mean, I think that one will be pretty nice when that one comes out. Alright, let's start braking down here as we approach the holding points. I think we might have just gone through the holding point there. Yes, we have. It was a lot further back than I thought. I thought that was the Cat 2, but it's not. Never mind, we'll just hold on the runway. It looks like we're all good to go. Like, the approach sector is clear, so okay, let's brake on down then, and I'll just very quickly show you guys the main difference between these two joysticks. Okay, so parking brake is set. Right, guys, so if you have a look at the joystick here, I don't know how well you guys can see this. If you have a look, if I move this joystick like this, see how it just slowly returns to center like that, even on the twist. Like, it doesn't like snap back. It's brilliant. Because if we bring the Airbus in, even though I've re-greased the Airbus with like a more resistant grease, it still snaps back to center. I mean, it is a bit better, but it's very stiff and very snappy, if that makes sense. I do like the feel of this in the hand though. It does feel very sleek. Can't lie. But yeah, it definitely feels a lot cheaper in general, and less precise. And on top of it, this new stick came with a bunch of other stuff as well. It came with like a bunch of different springs you can fit onto the gimbal to increase or decrease the resistance. It also came with different buttons as well, like you could swap out the hat switches on here and all sorts of stuff. So overall, just really good value, I think, for what it is. Okay, cool. So let's get rocking then. I think we're almost there. We just need to do our before start checks. So we'll go overhead and make sure the position lights are in the flash position. Seatbelt signs are on. Fuel booster pumps can come on to low. We'll get the automatic feathering on as well, and we can then jump down to the next panel. Like so, we'll get the pitot heat on, that's looking good. We'll close up the cowl flaps to 4 degrees. We'll get the landing lights on. We'll turn the cooling turbine on. Everything looks good on that side. We'll also come down to the main quadrant. We'll release the gust lock, and we'll get the flaps set to 20. That is set. Everything else is good to go. Alright, I think we're about good. We'll get our transponder set to altitude reporting. A quick check of the cylinder head temperatures. Okay, great stuff. Let's do this thing. I think Mariner has disappeared. I'm not sure if he's joining us anymore, but anyways, let's do this thing. So, takeoff power is 52.5 inches on the manifold pressure. We'll first bring the power up to 30 inches. Sounds are so good on this. Okay, so 30 inches set, checking the temperatures. It is going a bit warm here, so I'm just going to actually open the cowl flaps by a couple of clicks. Everything else looks good. Let's go to takeoff power. So all the way up. So hard to adjust these very finely. We want 52.5. Which is about there. That should do it. Takeoff power set, parking brake released. Let's go! Okay, slowly getting up to that 100 knot rotate, and that's 100 knots. Let's start rotating. There we go, it just levitates off the ground there. Love to see it. Get the gear up. Okay. Alright, so about 500 feet AGL. We're going to start our accelerate up to 165. We're going to start bringing in the flaps. So let's initially bring the power back to 48 inches of manifold pressure. And We'll bring the RPMs to 26. We'll bring the flaps up. It's going to help us accelerate here. There we go, flaps are fully up. Getting onto that inbound course for the Salzburg VOR. Few clicks of trim up. There we go. It was very difficult to get this thing trimmed properly. Just keeps ballooning and then dropping back down. It's very strange. Anyways, let's get the gyro pilot in. It should make it a bit easier just to trim it out. There we go. We'll get localizer mode in, so it's following that inbound course to the VOR. We'll trim it down a little bit. So we're keeping that speed, and then we'll go to climb power. So 32.5 on the manifold. Sorry, 40.5 on the manifold. And then down to 2400 on the RPMs. There we go, that should do it. Let's check the cylinder head temperatures. They're looking good. Everything else is fine. I've got 4.6 miles to go until the Salzburg VOR. Got a bit too much of nose up right now, so I'm just going to trim it back down a bit. Oh, I've got Mariner still is here. Okay, great stuff. Okie dokie, so our next course then is going to be 157. So once we overfly the VOR, I'm just going to turn us around using the gyro pilot, and then we are going to I'm going to try and capture that course outbound of 157. So we should be overflying the VOR any second now. We've got 2 miles to go. See how we're doing on the power. We're already losing a bit of power. As we climb here, we're going to start to get into air that is of a lower pressure. So we're going to keep having to nudge up the manifold pressure as we go up here. 2400 on the RPMs is up there actually. There we go. Okay. There we go. We've just overflown the VOR. Let's start a manual turn round to 157. We'll do a bank to the right. And whilst we do that, we are going to set this to 157, which is going to be about there. Keeping an eye on our speed whilst we're doing that, giving a bit of trim upwards. Looking at our instrumentation here, just looking for 157. We're probably going to turn a little bit past that. Start leveling out this turn a bit. Still turning, but just not as steep a bank. Just a 10-degree bank going on there. All right, great stuff. Let's get that centered. It is now. Okay, great stuff. So as you can see, we're currently sort of circling around the VOR. That's why this needle's moving so much. But as we slowly fly out here, this should start to come round. And as we're sort of flying into the course, it should sort of point in this direction initially. And then as we sort of get onto that outbound course, it will eventually point straight behind. Check the temperatures and manifold pressure. We'll give it a little nudge up again. There we go, all looking good. Speed's a bit slow, we'll trim down a bit. Great stuff. Beautiful. So we're going to be flying back over towards the airport here. Beautiful stuff. Alright, okay. Manifold pressure dropping all the time here. There we go. Oh dear, I think we flew through our bloody outbound course there, my bad. Paying enough attention. So much, as you can see though guys, there's so much stuff to pay attention to in this aircraft, it's freaking unreal sometimes. So just bank it to the left a little here. We're not far off the course at all, so it should just take us a second here to get realigned. And there we go. There's the course deviation indicator coming in. Slowly but surely, you can see it sort of nudging across. Up to 11,800 feet. We're going to start to shallow our climb out a little bit in a second. And there we go. I'm going to go to localizer mode now. Oops, there we go. We're just going to basically just get the aircraft to capture that outbound course. There we go. Overflying at the airport there. It looks like looks like Mariner disappeared, unfortunately. Not sure why that is. Beautiful, look at that. Very nice. Awesome. Okay, so we're on our outbound course. Coming up to 12,000 feet, so I'm going to start to shallow out the climb a bit. We're going to be on this outbound course here for a little while here. And we should pick up the ILB VOR fairly shortly. which is going to basically just move this second needle here so we can see when it gets picked up. Alright, okay. We could go to standard pressure as well, but I'm just not going to do that because the autopilot in this thing is a little bit funky when you change the altimeter setting whilst you're in flight, so I'm just going to leave it. Look at the beauty of this aircraft. Amazing. Looks like Mariner is... oh no, he's not moving. Alright, we're approaching 13,000 feet now. Let's start to slow this climb. Manifold pressure's dropped a bit. Let's just get that back all the way up there. Okay. 200 feet per minute should do it. Got a few clouds here actually coming up. Let's just check the temperature. We've got 0 degrees outside, just under 0. Carb temperature is actually outside of the icing range, so we're good there. But I'm just going to turn the windshield heat on, and we'll turn the prop de-icer on as well, and the airfoil heater just for while we go through these clouds. There we go, and altitude control can come on now as we are reaching our cruising altitude. It's doing this weird funky thing that I'm not sure exactly why it's doing it. Okay, I'm just going to ignore that for now. Oh dear, look at this though. Holy balls, guys. Oh man, I would love to fly in one of these aircraft in real life. Absolutely unreal. Absolutely insane. Flying over the Alps as well. Love it. Love it. Okay, so we're going to accelerate a bit here. We're going to accelerate to our cruise speed, and then we'll apply, we'll basically just put in cruise power. We don't need to actually change the fuel tanks because we have only got fuel in the mains today. So let's do our after takeoff checklist. So gear is retracted, flaps are up, landing lights are actually still down. Let's just turn those off. Quick check of the cylinder head temperatures are actually looking a bit cool, so let's close these up a bit. We'll put these to 0. Signs, we can now turn those off. Auto feather can come off as well. Booster pumps can come off. Alright, great stuff. And then we've actually passed through those clouds now, so I'm going to turn the prop and the airfoil heater off. Vinyl warming can stay on. Okay, so after takeoff checklist, ADI is off, gear is retracted, wing flaps are up, landing lights are retracted and off, signs are off, auto feather is off, cylinder head temperatures are checked, supercharger oil and temperatures are checked. Pressurization, we'll just give that a quick check right here. That's looking good. Cabin altitude is not looking too bad at all. Just 2,600 feet. That's looking good. A few clouds here. Just gonna flick the ice on because we are in the icing range outside. Okay, superchargers we don't need, so that is all checked. That is the after takeoff checklist complete. We are approaching our cruise speed here now, so we'll get the cruise power in. So that's going to be 32.5 on the manifold pressure. There we go, and it's going to go nice and quiet in here in a second as we bring the props down to 2,000. Props on 2,000, and we'll set the mixture to auto lean. We'll turn the hydraulics to off. We'll also go ahead, we'll turn the inverters to opposite like this. And again, we'll just check the cylinder head temperatures. They are getting a little bit warm now, so I'm just going to open the cowl flaps just a teeny touch. So a cruise checklist. Mixture is auto lean, hydraulic bypass is off, fuel system is set, inverters are same, pressurization is checked and set, cowl flaps are set, and that is the cruise checklist complete. There we go, beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Very nice indeed. Oh, what is going on? We are descending for some reason. Why are we descending? What? What? Why are we descending? The gyro pilot's got altitude control in, and it's on. Not disconnected. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, so we're on 157, aren't we? Inbound, outbound the Salzburg VOR. I'm actually going to come over to this side and tune this to 157 to see where we are. Okay, fine. So we have actually picked up, like I say, the other VOR we're going to be following for a bit. We've got some more clouds here. Let's see, so 114.8 is what we want to be on. We're going to stay on 157, so let's just switch this over. We're switching over to the other VOR now. We'll put that onto localizer, and that's going to then capture the inbound course for our next VOR. It's strange that it's off to the left like that, but hey ho. A few clouds here. Cloud base is quite low actually here. Let's see if we pass through them. We're kind of only skirting through the lower part of the cloud though, so it shouldn't be too bad. Right, there we go. It's 13,000 feet again. Trim just seems to be going wild today. I'm not sure what it is. I blame Sim Update 5. Just blame everything on Sim Update 5. We've lost a bunch of speed now thanks to that little climb we just had to do. Fucking so strange that. I don't understand that at all. Alright, so we're looking good anyway. Oh my god, the cylinder heads are getting super hot. So let's get them open. Especially number 3, that's super hot. Holy balls. That's not good. That almost went into the red. Thankfully the engine is still alive and kicking. It's still producing the same amount of power as the others. Still a bit toasty, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. All other indications are looking fine. Wait, what just happened there? Why did the VOR just flick on and off? Looks like we're getting... It might be the mountains actually just causing us a few issues. Let's tune 11380 on this side, just as a standby to see. Yeah, there we go. So we've picked that one up fine. And then after this VOR, we're going to go to 1086. Right. Okay. So the clouds are thinning out now. It looks like we're sort of through them. There's still more up there. Don't really want to descend too much though, because of the mountains. Let's see, we've got Mariner in the back there. Beautiful. Looking forward to the update tomorrow actually, to see how it actually improves these areas around the Alps and stuff. Because they look pretty good, but they could definitely do some more like sort of jaggediness, if that makes sense. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put climb power back in, because I feel like we've lost some speed that we're not recovering here. So I'm just going to put in. I'm just going to come bring us back to climb power. Let's come back to 2400 on the RPMs and then up to 40.5 on the manifold pressure. There we go, seeing a little bit of acceleration there. Okie dokie. Hey sir, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ooh. Excuse me. I've got this plane. It's hard work. Are you doing a tutorial for it like you did the CRJ? I've not planned on, no. Purely because of the complexity of it. Yeah, I just don't necessarily feel quite as comfortable doing a tutorial on this as I do with the CRJ. And I think there's some weird little quirks with it still that need to be worked out. But I don't know. I mean, I did a tutorial on the ILS capture in this aircraft. So I know a lot of people were struggling with that. But other than that, I'd not really planned on, because I mean, you have the automated, the artificial flight engineer. So I mean, most people I think use that. So I don't really think it's going to be. I don't know how much use it would be, or how well a video of a tutorial would do on that, because of, you know, the amount of time it takes to do a tutorial. Like, you wouldn't believe how long it actually took me to do the tutorials for the CRJ. Like, I must have been filming those tutorials for, I don't know, maybe about 7 or 8 days solid. And then the editing on top of that, so I don't know, for the amount of effort it takes to do a tutorial, I'm not sure how many people, how well the video would actually do, although I would, you know, love to help more people out. But maybe what we can do is, in a stream one day, maybe I can just do a little bit more explanation to certain aspects, potentially. Thank you very much, Asa. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Very kind of you to say. But yeah, maybe we could do a stream one day where we do a bit more explanation and question and answer and stuff like that, potentially. Get the de-icer off. Now, I'm actually just gonna stick on these lights as well, just so it's a bit brighter down here for you guys. Beautiful. Look, I've crashed the desktop. Oh no, mate, that sucks. Yeah. I don't understand the sim sometimes, mate. James, good afternoon. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Ooh. You have to excuse me, guys. Can't stop yawning today. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been sleeping that well recently. Part of the reason why I haven't been able to stream quite as much, to be honest. Okay, so we're inbound to Bystrica VOR ILB, 64 miles to go. I'm just going to turn this light off because it's red. I don't want the red light at the moment. And yeah, we're inbound. So following the Bystrica VOR, we've got another outbound course of 102 miles and then 54 to Split VOR over Croatia, of course. And then over to Mostar. Looks like we've got some more clouds up ahead. These look quite a bit lower down than our previous cloud base. Let's see how we get on. They don't look... It looks like we might just skim across the top of them. But we'll see how we get on. See how we get on. Fly-by-wire and the A320 Neo is just not great for me anymore. It does all kinds of odd stuff since the update. VR Insight panel doesn't work with it. Oh, that's unfortunate, dude. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on at the moment. The fly-by-wire is working pretty good for me at the moment, I have to say. But I haven't flown it too much to really, you know, give a very good comprehensive opinion on that, I suppose. But it seems pretty decent, especially the experimental version's pretty cool these days. On top of that, what else have we got? The VR Insight panel. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you have to install a separate plugin for that? Maybe that is there an update for it, maybe, that you need to do. All good, thanks, mate. I haven't seen you on for a while. Yeah, James, I haven't actually been on for a while, unfortunately. Just, yeah, life's kind of got in the way, I suppose, and yeah, just got a bit of a weird, I don't know, schedule at the moment. It's probably the best way to put it. Let's say. Too busy making tutorials. Yeah, I mean, I've put out a few videos recently, haven't I? But yeah, so we're right on top of these clouds. Let's go for another little climb here. So we'll bring the power back up to climb power. And we'll go to 40 inches. Get the seatbelts on. Wait, why are we turning? What in the world? So under the hood, this is actually using the default autopilot code in the sim, which is can be a bit frustrating. That's why I keep getting a bit confused by certain things. But yeah, let's go for a little climb here. I'm actually going to get the icing on for now, the airfoil heater and the prop de-icer, just because we might just go through this little bump here. Temperature's still within the icing range outside, so we definitely want to be wary of that. Just do another little climb up to 14,000. There we do. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Although we don't want to stay at 14,000 for too long, because we are travelling to the east, which is not good practice, really. Obviously, we want to be on an odd number, really, odd cruise flight level when we're travelling to the east. Right, okay, let's level off there. We've run out of climb power anyway. We can't actually get more power than that. So we'll just accelerate a little bit. See, we kind of want 40 inches there, but we can't. My throttles are actually all the way forward here, so we can't quite get 40. But that's fine. I mean, normally you would use the superchargers in this instance, but we're not going to do that. Cylinder head temperature is getting very, very toasty. Let's get those open a bit. Get the gyro pilot in. Get it on altitude control mode, so holding that altitude roughly. Okay, let's accelerate just for a short while, and then we shall put the cruise power back in. VR Insight haven't updated anything since 2016. Holy. Got you. Still works with the default A320. Oh, that is very strange. Have you been into their Discord by any chance and had a word with them in there? Because usually they're quite keen to make sure it works with everything. Might be worth having a word with them in there. Hey, thank you very much, Asa, for the 500 stars. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you. That's very, very kind. And yeah, pleasure, mate. Pleasure. And as always, you know, as I always say, you know, if you have any questions at all, feel free just to let me know, and we'll see if we can work it out. What is that noise? I can hear another aircraft that's close by. Or have they just changed the sound a bit for the DC-6? I think Mariner's still behind us there. Those name tags just sinking into the clouds. Love it. Okay then. So I think we're about as fast as we're going to go at this altitude. So let's bring the power back to 32 once again. 32 and 2000 on the RPMs. Cylinder head temperatures are all in the green, that's looking good. Everything else is good. Oil temperature, fuel pressure, oil pressure, everything looks fine. Might see a bit of a drop in temperature here on cylinder head, so we might just need to close the cowl flaps a little bit. So number 3 is looking a bit chilly. That's the one we've got open a bit extra, so we'll close that one a touch. Okay, cool. Turn off this anti-ice now as well, so that's fine. Beautiful. I hope they fix this issue in the next update. Like, just look at this area right here. Look at how blurry it is right now. If I pan away from it and then look at that area as I bring it back into view. Wait. It's coming around now. There you go. You see how it's like high quality for a second and then it just disappears? It goes back to being blurry. Very strange. Very, very strange. Alright, so it looks like the clouds up ahead are actually dispersing. So I'm going to actually go back down to 13,000. Just because, like I say, it's obviously good practice, and our flight plan obviously calculates 13 as being the most efficient flight level. So we're going to go back down there. That's going to give us a little bit of extra energy as well. So yeah, let's do that. Just a very, very slow, gradual and slow descent here. We can turn the seatbelt signs off now, which we turn back on. Temperatures are looking good, a little bit cool, so let's just close these by a couple of clicks here. Let's say 6 degrees on all of them. It's funny how when we flew this thing in the winter, when it first came out, you used to have to in cruise close the cowl flaps basically all the way. But now in summer, it is, yeah, it's a totally different story. Okay, 16 miles to go until we're switching to our next VOR. See, 108.6, make sure we've got that tuned actually. We do. Let's actually put it on nav 2 so we can see when we actually pick that up. We have actually already picked that up, which is nice. And the course inbound is going to be at 146. Do. Oh, we could put a bit of music back on now, couldn't we? There we go. Alright, let's go over here, just to set this. 146. There's 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 1-4-5, 1-4-6 there. We're actually pretty much on it already, aren't we? Strange, we shouldn't be. It should be off to our left a bit. Sorry, off to our right a bit. Which I suppose it is a little bit. Let's go to gyropilot mode anyway, as we're about to overfly the VOR. And we'll set this to 146. So I'm just waiting for the VOR to get blocked now. Should be any second really. Hey Dylan, welcome to the chat, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, so the VOR should be blocked any second now. Right, there we go. So let's switch to the next VOR, and then that we should be already on that, which we are. Great stuff. So let's go to localizer mode. That's just going to give us a slight left turn, and there we have it. There we have it. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And of course, because I was focusing on that, we've descended a bit too far there. Cylinder head temperatures are getting pretty goddamn toasty now. I need to keep my eye on those. Obviously we've descended a small amount there, so it's actually got a bit warmer by the looks of things. We're actually travelling further to the south as well, so it's going to continually get warmer as we go on here. All right. Beautiful. Nice and clear outside. We're approaching the sea. Not sure what this bay is actually called, to be honest. Alright, there we go. 13,000. Do it. We're just a little bit above 13, but we'll leave it there for now. Ooh. Right, so that was actually the longest leg of the whole trip done. The next VOR we're going to be tuning is on 115.7, which we're going to get pre-prepared here, like so. Check the cylinder head temperatures, they're definitely cooled down a bit. Let's just give it one click. There we go, that should do it. And then the next course is going to be 127. That's 12, 125, 126, 7. There we go. Okay. That's only going to be in well, in 88 miles since when we reach the next VOR, really. Working out something right here. Alright, so I'll just show you what I've been looking at here. So I'm just looking at this approach. So we've obviously got the IGS approach into Mostar. So what I've done is I've actually removed Mostar VOR was our final waypoint here. So I've actually just removed that from the flight plan. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to fly from Split. We're going to fly this outbound course 104 magnetic straight across. probably going to have to be a little bit aware of this these mountains right here as we descend. But I suppose that would be the same regardless. Anyway, we're just going to go on this outbound course of 104, and that's basically just going to take us directly onto the IGS approach there. That'd be fine. And as long as we follow that course, we should be able to intercept right there. Although that's quite a tight turn, so what I might just do is I might just add like a pseudo waypoint in, like that. So let's see. Yeah, maybe just something like that's going to work a bit better to give us less of a tight intercept angle. It also keeps us a little bit clear of those mountains as well, so that's actually worked out quite nice. Yeah, so we'll do that instead, and it just changes our outbound course a little bit. However, the issue with doing that is that we're not actually tied then to a nav aid as we're flying across here. This is just purely, well, it's more or less just dead reckoning, isn't it, going this section here. So, yeah, I mean, it's only 5 miles. And we should have the localizer picked up then, so yeah, hopefully it won't all go terribly like it did last time we did that in Scandinavia. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll stick the pseudo waypoint in there, and that's all fine and dandy. Great stuff. So at the moment we're 17 miles away from ZDA, so we're probably about here somewhere. We look outside the window as well. Oops. We look outside the window as well, like so. You can see we're kind of over the bay here. We've got this large island below us. So if we go back onto the tablet here, you can see we're basically above this island here, aren't we? And if I bring up this plane, I'm going to estimate we are right about here. If I click this, bollocks, just slightly off. Yeah, so we're actually slightly off our intended track. That's fine though, not too much of an issue. I can deal with that. Let's see where we've flown so far. Yeah, so for some reason it didn't intercept this outbound course, even though we kind of did it all right there. This one is fine. So there we are. Just over halfway, or approaching halfway even. Pretty good. Pretty good. Nice scenery out here. Good to see it. Right, let's do a quick check on the temperatures, and then I'm just going to go and quickly grab something to eat and probably a cup of coffee as well. So everything's looking good. We've got 60 miles to go. Temperatures are all looking fine. We do have some clouds ahead. Yeah. We do have some clouds, so I'm going to turn on the anti-ice just in case we go through those whilst I'm AFK. Other than that, we're looking good. So I am just going to nip away for a second, guys. And before I do that, I just want to fix something real quick. Which is this, so... Right, okay. So I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. I'll put a timer up. My camera's supposed to disappear when I press that button, but it doesn't. I'm not sure why that is. That's what I was trying to fix. There we go. Okay. Worked fine that time. Great stuff. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. I'll be back shortly soon. Guys, I'm just going to go grab some food. I'll be back soon, guys. Alright guys, back apparently. I think I need to fix that. Okay, hello, camera, please work. Hello. Well, the camera should come back on in a second anyway, hopefully. But yeah, we're back. I've got a bit of food, so I'm just going to munch that. There we go. That's fixed. Sim update 5 AC, yeah. Blame Sim update 5. Blame it for everything. Oh, look at this out the window. That looks pretty dope. Oh, baby. Oh. Look at this. Look at the colour of this rock down here. Is that... That's not snow, is it? Interesting. Very, very cool. Let's see how we're doing on the progress. We've got 26 miles to go. Alright, so I can eat my sandwich in peace. Oh, we've got someone else flying with us. I don't see anyone. Let's go back to this view so we get these nice mountains. Alright, I'm just gonna munch away guys, so don't mind me. Just hide the camera while I'm doing it. I am still here. We did not check the engine instruments though, did we? Okay, temperatures are looking good, maybe a little bit cool. Oh, it's a tune, guys. It's an absolute banger. I love the fact that you tend to fly this aircraft at lower altitudes. It's so nice. Alright, so we've got 10 miles to go until we switch to our next frequency. You can see the frequency is identified as well. You can see it's picked up here on the second arrow. We've got it tuned into nav2 on 115.7. As you can see, we've got it on the standby here. The course is going to be 131. Sorry, it's not. It's going to be 127. I'm reading things wrong. Which we've already got set here. All right, cool. Alright, so let's go to gyro pilot mode, so we're flying on a heading. Let's just switch it over now, see what happens. Course is 127, isn't it? So I need to just give this a wiggle. So we're basically on it. There we go. This landscape below is looking very cool, isn't it? Very cool. I've got an airport down there. I think that's the Zadar airport. I like the look of this landscape. I'm not gonna lie, it just looks nice. Alright, so we've only got 50 miles to go until our next VOR, which is a split VOR. So let's start having a bit of a look at our approach. So if we bring up Navigraph here, you can see we've got the IGS Zulu for runway 33. The final approach course is 355, and the platform altitude is at 3,000 feet here. So we're going to calculate our descent to get down to 3,000 feet. So having a look at this, we've got a 3.4 degree descent angle. So our approach speed is going to be, we're going to expecting about 900 feet per minute or so. We've got the altitudes here we can obviously cross-check, and obviously we've got this note here: IGS, due to terrain config, strictly follow glide slope indications between 5 and 3 MOS, which is actually the ILS DME. It is an ILS, but it's called an IGS because it's not actually lined up with the runway at all. Localizer course offset, as you can see, 21 degrees here, so this should be pretty interesting. And yeah, minimums are going to be 1,984. We're going to use this one because yeah, the DC-6 doesn't climb too quick. We're pretty high minimums, but we should be okay. I'm not expecting bad weather on the way there. When we get there, sorry. So it should be pretty cool, this, guys. I'm looking forward to it. So if we've got to lose 10,000 feet, basically, we need to allow 70 miles for our descent. So this leg here is 70 miles exactly, so that's convenient. So basically once we reach the split VOR, which is the next VOR, we're going to start our descent into Mostar. I think what we're going to do is we're going to descend on down. We're going to obviously do the approach, and then I think I'm going to just do a little touch and go, and then we're going to do basically what they did on the Red Bull diving competition. Is we're going to basically follow this river up to the bridge, which I'm not sure exactly where it is actually, and we're just going to do a fly over the bridge visually and then come back round and then land again visually, which should be should be interesting. But we'll use the flight engineer for that, because if I'm doing everything visually, I don't really want to be messing around with the power and whatnot. So yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm just going to see if I can actually find where the bridge is in Mostar before we before it's too late. Fuel's looking good. Temps are looking good. Yeah, smooth sailing. Real nice. Right, so it's the Lucky Most Bridge. If I remember correctly. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, by the way, I'd really appreciate if you're enjoying the content, if you could give me a thumbs up. It would be much appreciated. It really helps the channel out when you do that. So really appreciate that. If you're enjoying the content, of course. Oh, it's actually the Stari Most bridge. It's just let's see. Yeah, okay, cool. It's actually literally just on the. It's basically right on the sort of departure path of the runway, to be fair. So we'll do a quick touch and go, and then just basically fly runway track, and then we'll fly over the bridge, and then we'll come back. Which should be fun. Great stuff. Okay. So we've got about 20 miles to go until we want to start our descent. Look at the scenery though. This is just, it's just stunning. Super nice looking. Beautiful. It's got to be the best. It's got to be the best plane in the sim. It's got to be. Excuse the rustling. I'm just opening up my my cheese puffs. Looking good. Still just eating, guys, so apologies for the lack of communications, but I'm just trying to finish my my cheese puffs here. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. Max out of 10, guys. Scenery in Croatia, what do you reckon? Alright. That's a cheese puff demolished. Cheese puff demolished. Now on to the coffee. Alright, let's see how far we've got to go. We've got 7 miles to go. Excuse me. So I best get the next VOR tuned, really. Actually, no, we're just going to stay on this one, aren't we? 115.7. And we're just going to adjust the course. Course is going to be 107. Once we block it. Alright, cool. So I'll be 1 sec. Yeah, Chris. Croatia, it does look really nice, man. Really nice. I've never been myself, but yeah, it does look super nice. Alright guys, so once we reach, we must have a bit of a headwind here guys. Look at this, 167 knots ground speed. Although actually we are getting quite close to the VOR, so it's probably not working out our ground speed that well. So that's what it actually probably is. Alright, looks like the VOR is going to get blocked in a second. And then we're going to turn to 107 magnetic, which has just happened now. So 107 is going to be there. So let's take that left turn. Okay, and then we're going to start a descent. So we'll turn off altitude control and we'll wind this forwards to about 1,000 feet per minute. So we're flying directly over Split now, guys. That's Split Airport down there. Very cool, very cool. Apparently there's a pretty cool approach into Split as well. A pretty cool like circling approach. But yeah, Croatia does look super nice, Chris. Okay, so we're going to start our descent. We'll initially start our descent at cruise power here. We'll leave it at cruise power. And we shall just have a quick scan up top. Let's just make sure the temperatures are looking good. It's going to start getting warmer now, so I'm actually going to just open these by a few degrees. Okay. We're going to get the inverters to both sides here. We'll leave the seatbelts off for now. Let's see what else. I think we're pretty much good. What we want to do, we'll get the hydraulic system into bypass as well. Other than that, I think we're pretty much good for now. I just hit B on my keyboard to set the altimeter because I'm feeling a bit lazy. Really, we should be at standard pressure at the moment, but because of the weird quirk of how this aircraft works, I just use B on the keyboard. I think it's probably the best bet. Okay, so let's do the descent checklist anyway. So altimeters and flight instruments are cross-checked. Superchargers are in low blower. Fuel tanks are in main. Crossfeed is off. Hydraulic bypass is down, and the inverters are opposite. That's all good. Checking the cylinder head temperatures, they're getting a bit warm. In fact, we'll get them open all the way. It is going to be quite warm once we get down to lower levels here. You can see the temperature creeping up. Carb air temperature is starting to come in the icing range here, so we'll have to be vigilant of that if we go through any clouds. Got the mountains up ahead as well. Hopefully we're going to clear those. Alrighty then. Got a reflection there off the wing. Beautiful. DC-6. What do you reckon, guys? It's got to be one of the nicest looking aircraft ever made. What do you reckon? Especially when you get this this angle with the wings, I think it looks super nice. With the straight wing, very cool. I'm not gonna lie, these mountains look like that. It doesn't look like we're gonna make it. Let's slow our descent rate down a bit. I think we're going to have to stop our descent, to be quite honest. I really don't think we're going to make it across at all if we descend any further. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. I think we're going to make it now though, so don't need to worry too much. Let me just sort out this camera as well. It seems to be going a little skewy whiff again. Seems to be drooping down as the stream goes on. Probably overdone it now, haven't I? Oh no, that's actually alright. Am I in the middle? No, I'm not. There we go. Better. Right. Okay, cool. So I think we can safely say now we are going to clear the mountains. So let's continue our descent. They looked a lot higher than this, I'm not going to lie, but I mean, we are quite close to them. Let's not lie too much. Right, I'm going to reduce the power now to sort of what the flight engineer uses for descent power, which is 26 inches of manifold pressure. Which is there, and we're also going to go to 2000 RPM, which we're already at, so that's good. Cylinder air temperatures are looking good. As you can see, outside air temperature is pretty rapidly rising here. How far have we gone? About 40 miles. Alright, so we've got about we've got 3,000 more feet to lose. So I need about 15 miles. So that's going to take us up to 55. Yeah, so we're just a little bit above profile here. So I'm just going to increase the rate of descent a bit, which is expected because we did stop our descent a bit there. Let's just increase the rate of descent slightly. Nothing too drastic. We don't want to upset the passengers in the back there. I am going to tell them to put out the fags now, though. Monty, hello. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. We're currently in the middle of a flight at the moment, dude. Currently in the middle of a flight. We've been on route here now for excuse me, for a good couple of hours here. So I'm not just gonna quit it just on request. Unfortunately, we're gonna continue on here, and we're actually gonna land in Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It should be pretty cool. Just see the shadow of the aircraft just down there. Brilliant. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Thank you very much, Monty. Thank you. Very kind of you to say. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying them. Unfortunately, you know, I don't have a Lancaster to even try, even if I was able to swap right now. All right, let's decrease this rate of descent a bit here as we come to our final 1,000 feet. Okay, we're still on decent power. I'm actually just going to reduce the power a little bit more, even to 100 BMEP. So we can actually start slowing down here. Oh, what is going on with the throttle levers there? I'm going to unlock the mixture lock and put these all to auto rich. Just keeping an eye on that descent there. What are our temperatures looking like? Temperatures are very, very cool. Let's just close up these cowl flaps a bit. We're going to go to 4 degrees. Excuse me. We'll get the booster pumps all to low now. That's high, not low. We'll get the booster pumps all to low. Seatbelts are on. Okay, we're looking good. Let's level off here at 3,000. We've got about 15 miles to go until we take a turn towards the ILS, or the IGS in this case. Getting very bumpy coming over these mountains here. Alright, we'll put altitude control on with the gyro pilot. Okay, cool. So, approach checklist. Signs are on. Landing lights, will turn them on below 147 knots. Mixture is auto rich. Carb temperature is cold. Cowl flaps are 4 degrees. Boost pumps are on, and power is 100 BMEP. Temperatures are looking good. Can actually bring the power back even more here. We've got about 10 miles to slow down a bit. Well, just over 10 miles, about 15 miles. Let's go ahead and get the IGS tuned. So the IGS frequency is going to be 108.10. So I've got that tuned in the standby, and we'll put it in nav 2 as well, just so we can see when that actually gets picked up, which it is already actually, which is nice to see. Let's see how far away we are. Yep, 15 miles as expected. Got to pick up the kids from school. Can you circle Mostar for the next 30 minutes? I mean, the stream's always going to be there on, so you can actually, you know, you can watch it back, by all means. That's unfortunate timing though, that, unfortunately, Chris. Okie dokie, so we are we're at 62 miles. At 69 miles, what we're going to do is take a left turn in towards 4046 heading. Which should take us on to the IGS. Alright dude, take it easy. Have a good afternoon, mate. I'll catch you again soon. Let's switch the gyro pilot to gyro pilot mode, and we are going to open the cowl flaps just a teeny touch here. It's getting a bit toasty. We've done our approach checklist, so that's all good to go. Alright, let's take a turn now to 046 degrees. Should be able to see the airport somewhere off there to our left, somewhere below these mountains. there's 048-ish. That should do it. That's about 046. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Let's just go to local. Oh, let's actually switch this. There we go. So we're flying in towards the IGS now. So this should start coming across to us. We're on about 044 at the moment, so I'm just going to swing us to the right a touch. We don't want to. Ideally, we don't want to intercept the glide slope before the before the actual localizer here. Speeds come down nicely here. I'm not actually going to put any flaps out presently because speeds come down quite a lot. So that's fine. Just going to leave the power setting as it is. We'll leave it at 100 BMEP. These right two engines are actually producing a bit more power, so I'm going to just reduce those. So we're all on 100 BMEP here. That's looking good. The glide slope is actually coming down a bit earlier than what I'd like here, so I'm just going to swing us out to the right again, a little bit more here. And let's just go to approach mode here, so it does capture the glide slope if needs be, which is fine. I'm going to get flaps 10 out. We'll go gear down as well. Flaps 15. Picking up quite a bit of speed here just as we start to get on our descent. Flaps 20. Look at this. I think we are quite a bit off the localizer though. I'm not quite sure why it's not coming in. I must have navigated poorly here, but we are going to intercept it. It just means there's going to be a couple of fairly brisk left turns. So we should be good. And we've got to follow the glide slope between 4 and 5 DME perfectly. So once we've reached that, we'll have to pay close attention. Sorry, DME 5 and DME 3. Reese, thank you very much for sharing the stream, dude. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So there we go. Turning onto the localizer now. As you can see, the bar's starting to move slightly. We can actually see the airport just there. And up there is obviously Mostar city centre. There we go. We're coming onto the localizer here. That's looking good. We'll go for flaps 30. Check the temperatures real quick. That's looking good. Getting a bit high now, so I'm going to just shove out flaps 50. Hey Ford, thank you very much for subbing on YouTube, much appreciated. Okay, so approximately 1 mile we need to start our left turn onto the runway. We're about 120 knots currently. That's looking good. I might actually do a full stop landing on this runway here because yeah, I think that's just going to work out better for us, but we'll just circle round. So we'll get rid of the gyro pilot now, and we'll start getting prepped for final. The landing checklist gear is down, flaps are 50, and the prop governor we can put forward to 2,400 as well. There's the runway in front of us, just to the left here. We're sinking a bit, so I'm just going to add a bit more power in. Possibly a little bit low here. I wasn't paying attention there while I was doing the chat list. But we should be able to recover this. There we are, there's the runway. No pappy. Gonna let the nose drop now. Got a slight crosswind from the right, in fact quite a strong crosswind from the right actually. And we're down. Get that reverse in, about 30 inches. Woo! There we go, let's take it out of reverse. And there we go, beautiful stuff. It's actually quite a long runway, isn't it? Alright, we'll do a spin around and then we'll go and do the flyover of the bridge. But yeah, that worked out okay, I think. We'll get the flaps up to 20. The prop governor all the way forwards. We're going to leave everything else as it is because we are going to just come around and take off again. But that wasn't too bad, was it, guys? That wasn't too bad at all. 170 feet per minute. A little bit off center line there. I definitely wasn't expecting that crosswind. I should have checked the weather. Oops. Monty, thank you very much for subscribing as well on YouTube. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, so let's just do a little spin around here and then we're gonna take off for that flight over Mostar. I don't have any scenery for Mostar, so it might look terrible, but we can try it. We can try it. It's one narrow taxiway, this. Whew. Beautiful. So I'm going to leave that IGS tuned, in fact, for the approach. Well, for when we come back round, that'll be quite useful to have as, you know, just a bit of an extra eye, I suppose, on the approach. I'm going to leave everything as it is, really, I think. We didn't turn the landing lights on. That's one thing I did forget. I forgot that yesterday, actually, when I flew this thing. This is an auto-gen airport, by the way, guys. Pretty poor, as you can see. Taxiway lighting in the middle of the taxiway. No taxiway lights. We've got basically some houses in the airfields, and yeah, it's all just looking a bit strange, to be honest. All looking a bit strange. So I'm actually going to use the flight engineer for this next portion of the flights, just to keep the workload down. I've basically done the whole flight myself so far at this point, so we are just going to take a bit of workload off. So we'll go for the before takeoff checklist.
Boost pumps are low. Fuel selector and crossfeed. Main tanks and crossfeed off.
It's always nice. I do like using the flight engineer though. It is pretty cool hearing them do the full checklist and whatnot. It is cool.
Down, forward, pressure and quantity checked. Okay. Flaps 20. Flaps set 20. Windows and turbine.
Alrighty then.
Closed and on.
Who's ready for the update tomorrow? Who's looking forwards to the update?
Gust lock released. 3.
Could be pretty cool, right?
On.
I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest, because I think
Golf flaps.
I do really like flying around.
Set. Transponder.
I really like flying around Innsbruck
On.
and similar areas, so I'm really looking forward to having some nice looking Alps. Hopefully that they manage to pull that off for this next update.
Extended and on. Before takeoff checks complete.
Alright, so we've got the before takeoff checklist done. Okay, let's set that parking brake and go for a dry takeoff.
30 inches stabilize.
Get to hear those beautiful takeoff sounds once again. So I think what we're going to do, because of this mountain right here, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to fly up through Mostar and then through this valley visually. And then just at the end there's a bit of an opening where we can probably turn around.
Cal flaps set.
Or we could just follow the valley all the way around, I'm not sure. Let's do a turn around at the top and do a double flyover, why not? Why not?
Full power set.
There we go, full power set, let's go! I'm just going to fly this whole section just completely manual, I think. I'm going to let the flight engineer do the power settings. Other than that, I'm just going to fly it completely manually, stick and rudder. I love how it just levitates off the runway like that. It's so good. Alright, here we go. So the bridge we want to be going for is basically straight in front of us. It's the second bridge that's going to be below us. Flaps going up there. I don't even see any bridges in the sim. There should be one right here. Well, there's one of the bridges. It's not quite as impressive in real life. This is the bridge where they did the diving. So there we go, boom. Fantastic. And it's going to be tough to turn around in this area. I think we're going to continue up here until we get to this opening at the top here.
Flight power set. After takeoff checklist, please.
Get this trimmed down though.
After takeoff checks complete.
Quite a tight turn this, isn't it? Even just this first turn. I wonder what the actual Red Bull pilots did. I wonder what their plan of action was. Alright, so let's just climb up to 3,000 here, I think. I'm going to actually get the flight engineer to set cruise power now, just so we keep the speed down relatively.
Power is set.
There's turbulence coming off that little hill there. Alright, so we've got cruise power in. Alright, let's make a left turn. We're going to turn back around now and then come back down the river and into Mostar Airport again. So one thing that I think lets this add-on down so much is how difficult it is to trim this aircraft out. I think initially when I first got it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's so easy to trim it. Like, it actually feels really nice when it comes to trimming, but like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's probably some of the Sobo's fault. You know, since they updated, they did some like sort of slight changes to the trim in one of the updates. And yeah, I think that's definitely impacted a little bit. But yeah, it's just a bit upsetting really, because it's super nice to fly this aircraft otherwise. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. I'm actually just going to straighten up here and we're going to go straight over this sort of ridge here, so we don't have as tight a turn when we get around the corner. And I'm just going to put in descent power.
Setting 26 inches.
Just so we're a bit slower. No need to be so quick.
Set. Descent checklist, please. Altimeters and flight instruments.
Very nice. so we're visually going to take ourselves back into the airfield. You can see there is the airfield there. And we're going to just basically fly a similar path as to what we did before. So I'm going to fly basically out here and then in kind of this way to avoid obviously the terrain.
Cooling turbine. Normal.
Let's do the in-range checks. There's the runway.
On low. Fuel tank selectors. Mains on, crossfeed off. Hydraulic bypass valve. Down. No smoking signs. On.
Little bumps there going over these hills.
Checks complete.
In-range checks complete. Alrighty then, so we should pick up that IGS once again in a few moments. There we go. Beautiful. I'm going to just take control of the throttles here. We're not losing enough speed, so I'm just going to take control. All right. There we go, losing speed now, getting back to 3,000. Great stuff. I'll tell you what I might do, just for just because it's getting annoying trying to trim it all the time, I'm just going to put altitude control mode on. That's going to be fine. Okay, cool. We can go back to flaps 10 now. Oh, no, I didn't mean to put that down. There we go. Alrighty, so basically just flying the current, we're basically flying the opposite to the inbound course for the IGS, and we're basically just going to swing ourselves round onto the IGS and fly that in. Alright, here we go. So, let's start that left turn. And we're going to straighten up here as we come perpendicular. That's a bit early. Passengers are having a fun time in the back there, I can imagine. Okay. The speed's good. Don't need to put any more flaps out for now. Alright. Looking good, looking good. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, so a little bit more of a left turn here, and that should take us pretty nicely onto the localizer here. There it is, it's coming in. Let's just go to approach mode. Actually, that's actually fucked the gyropilot completely. Let's put it back in. Oh dear. Okay, we've flown straight through it now, but should be able to recover from that. Let's get the gear down. I love how the gear comes out like that as well, like backwards, rather than coming out to the side. Very cool. Love it. Very nice, very nice. Alright, so about 135 knots. We're about to capture the glide slope. There we go, glide slope is captured. Let's go for flaps 20. There's the runway. There we go. We're pretty much back on the localizer now, so we recovered that okay. Okay, we're looking good. I'm just going to disconnect here and just fly this last bit in manually. Let's do it. So go for flaps 30. Not going to touch the trim hardly here. I'm just going to try and use the flaps to increase my rate of descent. Okay, that's not worked. Wow, I'm climbing now. Okay, let's give it a bit of gentle persuasion back down. And we'll just go for flaps 50 now, because that seems to have all gone a bit pear-shaped, hasn't it? Let's go before landing checklist.
Setting flaps 20.
Oh no! Abort that. We don't want flaps 20, we want flaps 50. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're a bit high, but we should be good. Yeah, I'm sure the nose didn't used to balloon like that when you brought out the flaps previously. Bit strange, that. Bit strange. However, we're looking good. We've got a nice nose down attitude. Very good. Alright, so turn on to base. I'm not going to overturn this too much here because of the because of the crosswind coming from the right. Oh baby, that is some strong ass wind. Holy. Woof. That was a bit firmer. That's some serious strong crosswind there. Holy crap. Let's see, what is the actual wind here? 037. Holy crap, 37 knots. Damn. Alright, let's take this thing in then.
After landing checks complete.
I don't know where we're going to park it. It's a bit of just a random assortment of buildings here. We'll just have to slap it somewhere on the apron there. Yeah, there's no lines or anything anywhere. Just park it around this way. Alright, there we go. Parking brake is set. Let's go ahead and get the ground crew to get our ground power unit in. We'll switch over to ground power and then we're going to shut all 4 engines down. We'll turn the hydraulic bypass to off. Not sure what's going on with this wheel right here. There we go. That was strange. Interesting. Okay. So that's engines off. Hydraulics are off. Fuel tanks we can turn off. We'll engage the gust lock as well. That's in place now. Great stuff. Looking at the instruments here, everything is set. We'll turn off the DME. Everything else looking good. Jump up top. Boost pumps are off. We'll get the inverters off. Like so. Magneto's off. Beacon light off. Position lights off. Seat belts off. Main generators can come off as well. We'll turn off the vinyl warming and the cabin heater master. We can also turn off the pitot heat. That might have already been turned off by the fly engineer. It has. Landing lights are off, and cooling turbine we can turn off now as well. Turn back down the air conditioning, and that is it. We can get the doors open now. Get all the little goodies in place. And there we have it. Aircraft is completely shut down. We'll turn it off on to, we'll turn all the generators off, turn the battery off. And that is it. Here we are. Welcome to Mostar, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed that flight. That is going to be it from me for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Nice to get back in the DC-6. We're going to be back on Wednesday with some more flying. We're going to be flying a bit of... I can't actually remember what I scheduled for Wednesday. Okay, yeah, so it's the World Update tomorrow. So on Wednesday morning, we're going to be flying basically some VFR for the World Update. So on Tuesday we're going to fly. Sorry, not Tuesday. On Wednesday after the update. Obviously, I don't want to stream on the update day because who knows what could go wrong. But I am going to be streaming some VFR in Austria. We're actually going to be departing out of Innsbruck, flying over to one of the new airports that are going to be added by Asobo in Switzerland. So we're going to do that VFR in the Piper Arrow 3. We're going to do that on Wednesday morning. So that should be really, really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I really enjoy flying the VFR stuff recently in the sim. So that's what we're going to do Wednesday, and then we're back on Friday with a full-length CRJ tutorial live. So that should be a lot of fun also. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Ramsey, thank you very much, dude. Hope you're well. Welcome to the chat. We're just heading out now. So yeah, once again, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Take it easy, don't work too hard, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Well, I would say bye, but my my end screen isn't working. Let's see if it works now. Okay, worked that time. Alright, take it easy, guys. I'll catch you again on Wednesday. If you check my Facebook page and the YouTube, there is a scheduled stream on there, so you can set a reminder and whatever else you'd like to do. I'll catch you then, guys. Peace.